Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I was thinking about this video topic. It finally came back to me here, but I've been wanting to talk about this idea of what do you do when you get there. So many people don't think about this. And as I was just recording the previous video, I sort of came back onto this topic and I remembered, oh yeah, I want to do a video about this. So what do I mean about what do you do when you get there? So I think a lot of us plan out our goals, right? And when you reach that goal, have you considered what then? What's going to happen next? And also how you got there, right? What kind of person did you become along the way? Because I think there's a lot of people out there that they have these goals of making a whole lot of money, or reaching some kind of fitness goal, or whatever career goal, or reaching this level, or even finding this perfect spouse, or whatever it is, or building this family, right? There's a lot of goals that you can have out there, and and I think a lot of people are willing to take shortcuts to get to those goals. Because they're viewing the goal, this is, again, I don't want to be too cliche here, but it's kind of like it's the journey, not the destination. But it becomes really true when you start to think about this. And I've had to come to that conclusion as I have hit a lot of my goals early on, and sort of retired, like I talked about I think in the last video. And then what then? What do you do now, right? This is something that you should think about before you hit your goal. I think this is really important, regardless of what your goal is, because I've gone through this multiple times now, right? I remember one time, back a long time ago, when I was first trying to lose weight, when I'd kind of gotten overweight, I did this 3-month challenge, and I won it. And I got there, and I hit the goal that I wanted. And then I was really actually disappointed. I was really disappointed, I'd say, even depressed, really, because I didn't know what to do next. I didn't have anything to look forward to. I was striving towards this thing, and I was so concerned with hitting this goal that I didn't think about what comes next. So it's really important to think about what comes next. What's going to happen. It's not just enough to think about what is your goal and what are you trying to achieve, but what happens when you achieve it. Then what are you going to do, right? And what is it going to be like? You got to visualize this ahead of time. A lot of people say, well, I want to make $1 million. Okay, so if you had $1 million, then what, right? Life goes on. You got to think about what would make sense after that, or if you're retired, or whatever your goal is, getting in shape, losing weight, then what, right? You got to think about that. And then also, the cost, right? What did it take you to get there? Because a lot of there's let's take making money for example. You can make money quickly, right? But sometimes, well, not sometimes, always, how you reach a goal, how you make money determines the enjoyment that you get from it. So what I mean by this is that if you go and rob a bank or do something really shady and make a bunch of money, and now you're, quote, wealthy or rich, you might think you're going to be happy, but you're not. You're not going to feel like you deserved it. You're not going to feel like you earned it. You're not going to have grown in character along the way. So, one of the things I always talk about is this idea of basically the progress to do a thing is what you're really after, how it changes you. So for example, with Simple Programmer building this business up, because I've gone through a lot of struggle, and it's been difficult to do, and it hasn't come easy. Making it to where I've made it is a lot more valuable to me, if that makes sense to you, right? It's a lot more valuable. It's not, if I had just been given it, and just the first time I tried to do anything, I suddenly was making a whole bunch of money and had this successful business, you think that's what you want, right? So this is a good, we'll talk about entrepreneurship. Let's say that you're trying to start a business, right? And you got this idea, and you want to build this business. So you think what you want to do is to get out there on your first try, hit a home run, and make millions of dollars on your startup, and now you're rich and congratulations. But if it comes that easy, one, you're not going to learn anything. Two, you're not going to feel good about it, and you're not going to have developed or become something better as a person, right? If on the other hand, you try to build a business and you fail and it doesn't work, and you get hire someone and they screw you over, and you go through these troubles as you make it, but you keep on learning from it, and you keep on changing and growing, and then you finally hit this success, and now you sell your business or you make this multi-million-dollar business. That path, the way that you get there, is going to be so much more beneficial to you as a person. And you're going to feel so much better about it. So again, I'm going off on a few different tangents, I realize, but what I'm getting at here is basically this. When you think that you would just like to have it handed to you, when you think that if I could just reach my goal, right? That's not what you really want. It's what you think you want, but it's honestly not what you really want. What you really want is to have earned your way. All of us do, right? We don't want to use the cheat code. We think we want to use the cheat code, but when you use the cheat code and you beat the boss, you feel this sense of emptiness, right? And so what I would challenge you is to say that don't just come up with a goal, but think about the path to get there, and realize that it's not that you want to just have the thing, because when you have the goal, when you get there, you'll adjust to the world. Believe me. I never imagined that I'd be making the kind of money that I'm making. I never imagined that, fitness-wise, that I'd be in the shape that I want to be in, that I'm in now. I got there, and sort of that fun and newness wore off, right? And now it's the baseline. So what I have to take from that experience is how I grew to get there, in the process that it took me to get there. The goal itself doesn't become that important. I was just listening to a really good book called Titan, to put a link here. It's Rockefeller. It's his biography of Rockefeller. Anyway, I mean, the guy was making ridiculous amount, he was the richest man in the world, but he just kept on raising the level, and he had new problems, right? He wasn't suddenly so happy and everything was so awesome, but he grew as a person, as he, whether you like Rockefeller or not. But my whole point is just, if I could condense it down to this, I would say this: look, your goals are important, so make goals, but think about the path to getting to those goals, and realize that it's not the goal that you're after. What you're actually after is the achievement, and the achievement is part goal, but it's part hard work. It's the effort that got there. You can't have achievement without the effort and without the trial, the tribulations, the difficulty. Otherwise, it's not an achievement. So that's the difference. And you need to focus on that, because it also influences what happens when you get there. Because when you are looking for the achievement, when you're like, I want to make it, I don't want to just have it given to me, I don't just want to reach the destination, but I want to have gone through the path, and I want to have become the kind of person that is required of me to reach this goal. If that's what you're actually aspiring for, then when you reach it, you'll have somewhere to go from there, and you'll feel good about it, and it'll make a lot more sense. Whereas if you just get the goal handed to you, it won't mean anything. It'll be just like a cheat code. Anyway, enough about that topic. I think I've beat it to death at this point. So if you've got a comment or question, email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com. And if you like this video, if you like to think a little crazy with John, then subscribe to the channel. Take care.